Fantasyland. You're talking
Can we
about
get a one shot of Conrad? Do you mind? The Alabama took an ass whooping.
When was this? When did Alabama lose? I don't recall. Now I know you're not talking about basketball
Back when Saban was there. Back when my bad. I know that's a touchy. Back when Saban was there. That's all good. It's okay. Probably back when Chris Park actually still believed that Joe Burrow was a NFL quarterback. God bless him.
Did you see Chris Park posed on the WrestleMania ramp with all the agents behind him doing their best Charlie's Angels? It was fantastic.
It was a Kodak moment. That ages me, but yeah, it was definitely a Kodak moment.
What's funny is, you spent a lot of time with the real life Chris Park. I'm mostly familiar with the character Abyss.
Oh,
so whenever because I didn't spend a lot of time with real life Chris walking around without the mask. So whenever I see him without the mask, I always kind of wish he had the mask.
Oh, yes.
And because it's just like, that's the way I imagine him. Even when I'm like, he's group texting us and just shitting all over us, I assume he's sitting there in a recliner wearing that mask. I know that's stupid, but it's just more fun, the visual in my head. And the idea that he was in a suit, but still wearing the mask just would have tickled me. So I'm gonna need Dave Silva or Chris McDonald or somebody. Can we just throw the Abyss mask on Chris Park in front of the WrestleMania set? Because Abyss should have had his damn WrestleMania moment too.
I love it. Conrad, we'll dive into a little wrestling situation because yes, I have spent obviously a lot more time with the real Chris Park,
right?
Than I have with look,
that Abyss. Imagine an Abyss mask on that. Because look, you see, I mean, the other fellows, they're doing full wrestling mode, and then here he is, like it's Olin Mills Day, it's picture day at school. But everybody else is having fun. It's like, no, man, Abyss it up, like twist those, hit me with that chicken move.
He could always turn the head like the monster would do.
Yes.
Conrad,
my God.
I have spent exponentially more time with the real Chris Park.
Yes.
In my house, out maybe having an adult beverage. Out back, he almost
wait. What's Chris Park's go-to adult beverage? Do you recall?
He's a beer guy.
Okay.
Yeah. One night downtown, we got into some shots, and I kid you not, he may get upset at me, but it was still daylight. It's the summer, but it was still daylight. Conrad, the length of one of those long bars, he took off running. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what reason, but he took off running and then really didn't slow down, but kind of mid stride. I mean, I'm talking 15-yard ball, the length of one of those, it's a long on Broadway. They're narrow bars down there. Not a lot of frontage of it. Anyway, he took off running and just kind of mid stride, Connie. I mean, as a good professional would do, he just kind of tucked and rolled, did a forward roll, came right back up to his feet. It was a beautiful sight to see. That was after a couple of shots, but he's a beer guy. He is a lot of fun. I've had so much fun with that guy through the years. But back to my, I guess you could say my observation. You said you only can imagine the Abyss. The first time I ever really got to spend time with Handsome Jimmy Valiant, it was like I was talking to two different individuals, because when Abyss got into Abyss mode, just what you're saying, you picture him, it was an extension of his personality. He wasn't playing Abyss, he became Abyss. And that's a great trait to have, just playing an extension of your personality and all of it that went with it. I mean, Chris actually rocks in real life just like Abyss did, but Handsome Jimmy I was mesmerized. I'm like, this is the same guy,
right?
Quiet, mild-mannered, and he's got
almost a whisper. I mean, you have to lean in to listen.
Yes, and he's clever and a great storyteller. Just nothing to do with the Handsome Jimmy. And the first time I really saw Handsome Jimmy, he was a heel against Lawler, and so then he turned babyface. And oh my God, I was a huge Handsome Jimmy Valiant fan. But anyway, do you have a wrestler that when you met him for the first time, you thought you were meeting like an entirely different person?
Tully Blanchard. I mean, I just grew up my whole life just knowing that Tully Blanchard was the world's biggest asshole. And then I met him in real life and I was like, wow, this is not what I expected at all. You'll know what I mean when I say this. He has a light about him. And it's like, you don't have to ask, you just know from talking to him. And it's like, wow, okay, not what I expected.
Not what I expected. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Was there anybody besides Boogie Woogie that got you like that?
Um, let me really, really think like that.
Did Savage always use the voice with you?
You know you know what I was about to pop in my brain is that I used to watch Randy and knew of the tension that really existed between the Poffos and the Jarretts and the ICW and all that kind of stuff, and then came to work and all this. I was kind of amazed the other way with Randy. I'm like, this dude really is high strung. This ain't a complete put on. I mean, in real life, he's never at a 2 or 3. He wakes up at about 3 cups of coffee deep. You know, Randy had an edge and an intensity about him, even in his quietest moments. I mean, you know, when I got to the WWF '93, Rummy playing cards was a big thing, and him and Crush would play, and others would play. Buddy, you play cards with him, saddle up, man. You're going to play, and you're going to not. I don't say play fair. You're going to get. You're not playing one game because money was going to exchange hands, and you kind of had to do a best of 3, best of 5, best of 7. You couldn't just be one and done. It was go time. So Randy's intensity, I went the other way with like, man, this guy is really wired that high. So
What kind of money were y'all betting on rummy games back then? That's fascinating to me.
I'm trying to think how I don't think we did. Yeah, I want to say probably 10, 20 a game. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I certainly wouldn't play for nothing crazy.
Oh, I was fixing to say, I can't imagine you'd do it for more than bubble gum.
Exactly.
And then you'd cry about that, having to let that go.
Well, hey, I left my wallet and the rental cards in the trunk. Can I get you tomorrow? I mean, I am so sorry. Hey,
you're the McDonald's guy.
yeah, no,
If you give me
Hebner, have you got 20? I I don't have cash on me. You know I don't carry. Can you give him $20? Not out of my draw, Dave. Just give him 20. What the hell do I look like, Jarrett?
That's hilarious.
Gotta be ready, Connie. Gotta be
You
ready.
think that's a holdover from the Andre days? You said 93, but we've all heard that Andre was a big card player. Do you think that became a WWF tradition because of Andre?
I know. See, that's why I just, you know, when I think back and hear of the times, like my dad, as crazy as it may sound, and I used to try to figure out kind of the logic of this from Nashville to Memphis, let's say 220 miles. Nashville to Louisville, let's go 170, 180. Nashville to Evansville, maybe 150. Okay. Nashville to Lexington is 230, 240. I mean, not that big of a jump. And so back when times were good, the story goes is that my father thought, you know what? I need to not just have a limousine. Let me buy one because I'm going to use this on trips. Now, the logic of having a limousine, you're really only going to get what 2 more people in there. I mean, you know, a 4. So there was a logic to that. You know why? They had a custom card table built that sat in the middle of the in the back seat, 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and a little. They had a custom wood little table fold out. They played cards all the way up and all the way back. Lawler was into it. I mean, they played serious.